Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Empress Aries 888. My name is Tanya. Well, please like on the way in. Give me an energetic donation to the channel. It helps me tune into your energy. Ripley's, believe it or not. These are collective readings, so any energy, any sign, flip the roles as you see fit. Take what resonates off of these readings and leave the rest. And let's get this party started by calling the spirit, shall we? Spirit guides and angels of your whitest light, please give me a clear message for the collective, one that brings healing, hope, and understanding of their situation. Protect me as I open myself up to channel these messages and protect my beautiful collective. Well, we're in the car again. And as last time, I do not have my stuff, but I wanted to do a reading. So let's just clap, clap. Happy Friday, everybody. But timeless readings. So even if it's a Monday or a Wednesday, I so appreciate the energy exchange. I so appreciate you tuning in, showing up, and showing out the loyalty that I have with my soul family. And if you haven't joined, why haven't you? Come on, let's go. It doesn't take much to press that like button. It doesn't take any effort to subscribe. Not charging you for anything. So please do. I would so appreciate the opportunity to help you. You know, because I feel like this is something that this exchange is helping. It's helping me as well as yourself. So come on now, you can do it. Press that button. All right. For everyone who has already, thank you so much. There was a song that was on, it was called Born to be Wild. I feel like somebody feels that way about themselves. They have this inner wildness about them. And right now what's on is Stuck in the Middle with You. So it could have something to do with this reading, the two songs, Lunchtime Rewind. But I feel like there's a restless energy that a person's having, and they feel like they're stuck, trapped, not wanting to be in a situation, but not sure how to like get out of it. So let's get into it. Spirit, give me a message, please, for this person that's born to be wild, baby. Born to be wild. Yeah. I know. Looking for adventure. And whatever comes my way. Yeah. Okay, so let's see about this person. This wild child. Let's do it, Spirit. And these are, like I said, collective readings. So in tarot, there is a correlation between astrology and the tarot. So we do point out astrological signs. I point out astrological signs, but I don't get stuck with that. So I will point it out because you have more than one astrological sign in your chart, and you can also have any number of the 12 signs in your moods. So I don't really get hung up on it, but if people want me to point it out, I do point them out. And I will point them out. Transformation is here. Defining yourself. Okay. Any other cards, Spirit, in this deck about this reading? Thank you. Trust, love, and friendship. Okay, and 3. Let's do 3, Spirit. Let's do it. Thank you very much. The self, gathering your power. Ooh, child. Somebody's gathering their power. Somebody's learning what they like and what they don't like, it's sort of like, you know how they have like a bucket list? Before I expire, before I die, I want to do this, that, and the third. And there's nothing wrong with having goals. There's nothing wrong with having checklists. Some people are stuck and hung up on checklists and goals. And if they don't meet them, then it's like this failure thing that goes on with people. But it's like, I feel like I have a different thing about that. I mean, it's nice to have goals, but if it doesn't work out, it's not like I'm going to be like down on myself about it. But I feel like somebody is having this bucket list in their head as they go through relationships, as relationships end, as new ones come in. Want to be wild, right? No judgment here. No judgment here. No tea, no shade. But it's like they're learning what it is they want in a relationship, what it is they don't want, and it's defining it more. Because the universe wants to give you what you want, but you got to be specific. If you generalized, then it's hard to work with that, and they will give you something, but it's like it might not be what you actually wanted, but you didn't really ask for it, right? You weren't really specific. So I feel like somebody's getting specific. Transformation. Somebody's transforming their mind. Love and friendship. There could be a love or a trust in a love or a friend that is transforming this person. Gathering their power, learning about themselves, learning what you're capable of, that you have power. Some people live in this victim mentality. Like everything happens to me and I have no control over it. When in fact you have a lot more control over your life and your journey than you think. There's like in tarot, there's the major arcanas and there's the minor. And how they define that is the major arcana, like the magician, the empress, death, as they say. These are certain things in life that are set in stone type of thing. It's not like there's wiggle room there. It's like your path is kind of, it's like a difference between, all right, we have a trip with a tour guide and they have to have a specific way of they do it and that's it. They don't deviate. Where you get to go on a vacation and it's whatever, it's a free-for-all, whatever you want to do. That's the minor arcana. The major arcana is very difficult to change that because it's kind of a set in stone thing. It's your journey with the tour guide. The minor arcana is when you just buy a ticket, a backpack, and you just do what the hell you want. So you have wiggle room with the minor arcana, but with the major arcana, you don't. So I feel like people look at life and they feel like I have no say in my life. My life is like I'm a puppet to the master. When really your choices are dictating your reality and you're acting like it's somebody else doing it. Somebody else is pulling strings. It's you making choices that are creating a reality that you're not happy with. So you need to be more specific about what it is that you want and go in that direction. Okay? It's a lot easier than you think. People make things a lot more complicated in life than it has to be. All right, let's get into a little bit more about this. But I feel like you're finding your voice and you're looking at it. Maybe you didn't have, what do they call it, a type, right? You didn't have a specific type of person that you wanted. If it's love, say it's love, or even a career. You went to college and you were just like partying and you didn't really know what the hell you wanted to do when you grew up. So you went here, there, and everywhere trying different things. Nothing wrong with that. But now you're more specific about what you want to do. And the same as in a relationship. Maybe you didn't have a type, but now that you've gone to all these other types, you're like, oh, I don't like this about that one. I like this about this one. But in the end, it's not just about the people you're picking. It's about you showing up for yourself. Because in a relationship, it's equal reciprocity if it's going to work out. There's people that think that there's a difference between flings and a real relationship. A fling is a person that they're here for a short time, not a long time. But when it's the one, you're willing to put in the work. Or at least that's what you say in the beginning. You convince yourself of that. Some people are just born to be wild. They just don't want to be tied down. But they don't say that to you until you're in it. To win it, you're in a relationship. You commit yourself. You cement it. You sign on the dotted line. And then all of a sudden it's a free-for-all of fuckery that you didn't sign up for that. And you didn't read the fine print. Now you're reading the fine print. And that person taught you that. So instead of being bitter about why shit happens to you, thank the person, even if it's not calling them up and thanking them. Thank the person for the lesson. Because now you know what you want and what you're not going to put up with. You would never have learned that lesson if it wasn't for that person. So as much as they dragged you through it, you needed to be dragged through it because you weren't learning the lesson. This could be lifetimes of you going through the same shit, picking the same type of people. What is one of it? I think it's Tarot Doc, which says it's just a different meat suit. Same kind of fuckery, same kind of bullshit, different meat suit, different person. Same shit, different day. So until you learn the patterns of behavior, what you're not going to put up with, what you're going to put up with, and what you're going to contribute to that, right? Because it's not just one person making it miserable. We can do it too. With our wounds that we never healed, with the gameplay that we never got over, the manipulations, the tears, the victim mentality we add to the problem, because it takes two to tango and it takes two to wreck it. We want to be a Wreck-It Ralph, then we're going to go through our whole life doing that. Just burning down towers, burning bridges everywhere we go. Or we can heal, and once we heal, we elevate. And when we elevate, what happens? We attract better quality people. And not to say that those people weren't quality. They didn't see that quality in themselves, therefore they're not quality. If you can't see your worth, how the hell is somebody else going to see it? Think about it. You got to love yourself, and that's not conceited. That's not ego. I mean, it's like, we're not talking about that bullshit. We're talking about loving yourself enough to say, I ain't putting up with your bullshit. If you can't appreciate me, there'll be another one. There's always another person that will. What you don't want, somebody else is praying on their knees for at night. Always remember that. If somebody can't appreciate your ass, okay, there's always going to be somebody out there that will. And the universe, as long as you're aligning with this, right? You're catching what I'm throwing at you, right? You're getting what I'm putting down. As long as you're aligning with that, I am worthy. I am good enough. The universe will gift you. They'll go along with it. They'll buy into it, and they will give you what you're looking for as far as a better quality person, a person that's going to see your worth, a person that's going to love you, a person that's not going to use you, a person that's not going to drain you. You get what I'm putting down? But it starts with inside of you, making that choice, making that decision that no more, starting today, am I going to accept the bare minimum from a person. I'm not going to accept their manipulation, and I'm not going to accept their crumbs. Then you'll be eating at the feast instead of on the ground where the crumbs are. It's a choice. And it takes a long time to figure that out. There's no handbook. There's no handbook. They teach social conformity in school. They don't teach this shit. All right. What do we have here? We have reflect and release, and it's in the reverse. Somebody is not reflecting. Somebody is not releasing. Somebody don't even believe they have a problem. And that in itself is a problem, my friends. That is a problem, and it's not yours anymore. I feel like this is a person that you were in a relationship with. Spirit, come through. Are you serious right now? Just lost 2 cards. I'm not going to chase after them, so there you go. They don't want to let you go. Death is in the reverse. Big changes are happening in your life, but this person is refusing to take accountability and release the fuck shit that has created the chaos in your relationship. So now you got to make a choice. Do I stay or do I go? This person believes that you are the problem, or at least that's what they're telling everybody else around them to make themselves feel better. Ascension in the reverse. They're not changing. They're not ascending. You are the revolutionary. You were sent specifically to help this person transform. But you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. Okay? If we are a change maker, if that is our mission while we're here in this journey called life, is to trigger change in people, and they refuse to transform, we got to move on to the next one. The assignment ends. and we move forward. When people leave your life and you're wondering why, this is the reason. They just refuse to see the worthiness of themselves. They refuse to heal the inner child. They refuse to accept the help that you were offering them, the blessing you were in their life. They didn't see it as a blessing. They saw it as a blockage. They saw it as a nag. They saw it as a bitch, a bastard, whatever. They didn't see your worth, and they didn't understand it. They didn't understand why you were there. Maybe they thought you were there to aggravate them. Maybe they thought you were there just to give them a hard time. But hindsight, they will eventually see what the gift you were in it. And it's sad, as sad as it is that people don't see your worth until it's over. It's like sometimes it has to be that way. But they will eventually see your worth on the other side of it. When they're healing, when they're in moments of reflection and contemplation, and maybe even on their knees praying to God, please help me, they're going to see your face. That's what you were trying to do. But when they're in this selfish energy of me, it's like it's all about me, and I want somebody that satisfies me, and I want somebody that makes me feel good about myself. And your job is not to make people feel better about themselves. It's just not. It's not about that. You have healing energy. Amen. You do. You have a gift of insight and understanding that most people don't. Maybe they never will. But you're not there to heal them. This is not Jesus Christ coming on the earth, walking amongst the people that touched the fringes of your cloak and all of a sudden they healed of a 14-year bleed. No, it's not about that. It really is kind of like a catalyst, right, to change. It's a catalyst, sort of like, we could use the analogy of like, what's it called? When you're a child, you have booster shots. And the booster shot is the initial catalyst to becoming immune to childhood diseases. Measles, mumps, rubella, German measles, those type of things. Polio, all those different childhood shots that we receive when we're children. And it's the initial injection starts the process of becoming immune to whatever it is that, we were being receiving that shot for, inoculated, if that's a word. We are the catalyst to change, to transform. It's that initial jab. Maybe it is a tough love that we have to give people, or something that we said that like pricked them a certain way, got under their skin. That's what we're here for, certain ones of us. And that irritates or bothers, right, like a shot does. Some people ain't ready for that. Some people hate needles. You know what I mean? They don't want to be their boat to be rocked. They're very controlled, some people. They're controlling. You don't tell me what to do. So, but you still were the catalyst. And eventually, even if it's not seen by you, you have changed and transformed. You started the process. Sometimes it takes time, right? That shot initially doesn't cure everything or even creates immunity right away. It takes time. Sometimes it's more than one shot, right? Some of the flu shots are annual. COVID shots, some of the booster shots, it takes one, two, or three. But you were there to begin the process. So they didn't like it. This born to be wild person didn't like it. That you told them what to do, or told them off, or told them a truth they didn't want to hear, or revealed that you saw them, something that they were masking from other people. Right? Amen. But you weren't there to baby this person. You weren't there to cure them. They have to do the work themselves. You were just the initial jolt, the catalyst, if you will. Hopefully I'm making sense to somebody out there. The High Priestess in the reverse, Two of Swords in reverse. It was no intuition here about who you were, and they didn't make a choice for somebody. They didn't make a decision on you. But, as I often say, no choice is a choice. So without any movement on their part, you had to move on yours. The assignment ends. If they're not going to get the message or transform or get the point while they're with you, they will get the point after you. And Swords is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. High Priestess, High Priestess. Okay. Five of Wands. This person's in conflict. Could be with other people, competition. They're focused on getting ahead in life more than they're focused on love, more than they're focused on you. Wands is Aries, Leo, Sag. The world is here. Success. This is what gets this person up in the morning. Being successful. Being thought of as successful. But the world is giving up something in order to gain it. In tarot. So they might have given you up as a sacrificial lamb in a sense, in order for them to get ahead. They couldn't be tethered to anybody. No ties. Break the chain, right? I can't be weighed down by anything. Because in their world, maybe travel is necessary to become successful. They got to move. They got to be a mover and a shaker. They can't be moving if you're holding on to them, you know? So you were kind of like the sacrificial lamb, I feel like. The Empress. To get to this status, and I feel like this is you, a High Priestess. I feel like the High Priestess is going to come out because it's usually coincides. To get to an Empress, you got to be every queen of the deck, every scenario, situation, not every single, but generalized, right? It's the fool's journey. You got to get to a place in life where you know shit. You're here. So you went through stuff. You're the Empress, sitting there with understanding now of why you're here and what your mission is. And if you're sitting there saying, I don't know my mission yet, you will. Give it time and be open to it, and you will find your way. This person hasn't gotten there yet. As far as like the changes there, they're starting to change. Maybe they're fighting the change too. But it's going to happen regardless. Chariot. I feel like this person moves around a lot. I wouldn't say a nomad, but maybe their job is to travel, and maybe they love traveling. They moved away from you, the Empress. Four of Swords, they think about you. In their rest periods, they think about you, contemplate, think about it. Maybe they're a overthinker that goes over it over and over in their mind, like, what could I have done differently, or what's this person doing now? I think they're like that. The Wheel of Fortune is here. They were looking for the Wheel of Fortune. Sort of like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, lassie. They didn't realize that you were that person. You were their pot of gold. It wasn't money. It wasn't a title. It was you. I feel that they're seeing the truth of that now. It's coming out. Because past, present, and future energy is always at play. Five of Swords is here. They took something. It's like they had to win the competition, right? They had to win at all costs. But what did it cost them? And who did they have to railroad in order for it to happen? So this is You know, when this happens in this situation and in scenarios, it's sort of like revenge is sweet for other people. They'll wait their turn. Somebody could be in the background very angry with this person or seeking revenge on this person because they took something of theirs. I feel like it's like somebody's there, like you look at the picture there, it's like the guy's looking back like, yeah, I'll get you eventually. Somebody's angry with this person. Because they could be on the status ladder. They could be up on the rung of the ladder, but who did they have to step on? I think they made some enemies here. 3 of Wands, they're waiting for the ships to come in, or their ships are coming in now. But you're not on the ship. You're not there by their side. It's like that song, Heart, what about love? Don't you want someone to care about you? What about love? Don't let it slip away. What about love? I only want to share it with you. You might need it someday. Yeah. You're the Queen of Wands. Sexy, successful. They see that. They see how you've grown, changed, transformed. They underestimated you. You're their wish fulfillment. You're the star. And you might be having some sort of recognition right now. They might be hearing about you in the wind, you know? Your name might be brought up in certain circles. And they're like, man, did I blow that one? Did I blow it with that person? It's like they're kind of going over that in their head, you know? The sun. That's illuminating a truth. Queen of Pentacles. You could, like I said, Empress is oh my God, you got the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands. Damn. They could have been here, there, and everywhere, right? Trying different ones. But I feel like if you're the Empress, you could be guarded against this person. You could be making a bunch of money. You could be sexy, single, and everything. You know, you're every Queen of the Deck, right? I haven't seen Queen of Cups yet, but 2 of Cups. They could have made different choices in their life that moved them away from you. Far removed. But they still remember. Like that song, everything's a song, sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But it's like that song from Sarah McLachlan. I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memories, right? I'm so tired, I can't sleep. Dreaming of a past that doesn't let me sleep. Funny you can feel so much, but never say a word. Screaming aloud, can't be heard. Yeah. I feel like in their dream state, they're reaching out for you. I feel like in their dream state, they're remembering you. And they're wishing that they would have seen your light when it was there. But it might have been, like I said, major arcana, minor arcana. It might not have been in the cards for that. Like fate, whatever you want to call it, that they would have seen you. Because for some people, they need to be jolted awake. They need to be taken to the brink. They need to be on their knees in front of God in order for them to see the truth. And maybe that's your person. Maybe. They want to rush in, Page of Swords, and, you know, like, tell you how they feel. But this is a prideful person that doesn't want to admit they're wrong. Their ego is getting in the way of that. Ten of Cups. It's not that they don't see you as everything that they ever wanted, because they're seeing that now. But there's a judgment, maybe from the universe. Like I said, major arcanas, that they're separate from you now. They needed that separation in order to recognize you. But also, if they're still in a toxic state where they're born to be wild, and you're the Empress, every queen of the deck, they're not going to have access to you for your own protection. Because all they will do is lower your vibration to their level so that you lose your blessings. Maybe not purposely, but if you're the type of person, it's the Empress, and you're every queen of the deck, you're going to love them so much that you're going to nurture this person to death, to the point where you die inside. You give too much, and you don't get back anywhere near what you give. And Spirit had to take you out of a situation in order for you to not lose these blessings, these prophetic blessings that you were going to get if you haven't gotten them yet. This person would have drained you. And you've been in connections where that's happened to you before. But you were so close to the Empress status, going through the bullshits of life, the things that you went through, that Spirit, your ancestors, your guides, they didn't want you to lose out over a person that needed to learn still. They needed to be away from you in order for that to happen. Because maybe your energy was protecting them from learning their lessons. Karma is a real thing, but it's not always a bitch. Karma can be a very good thing. Some people need to recognize their flaws, their faults, their toxic ways. We don't always have to look at karma as a negative thing, because it's a lesson learned. Once you learn that lesson, you don't have to learn it again. This person needed to learn their lesson, and they couldn't without you there protecting them. Anything else, Spirit, before we end it? But they're thinking about you. If you thought they didn't care, they got over you real quick, that's not true. That is not true at all, my friend. They're just too prideful to say. Four of Cups in the reverse. So they're still exploring their options. I feel like if they didn't see you in the past, they see you now. Four of Cups is Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, astrologically. But I feel like you were this gift to this person. They didn't see you at the time. They see you now. But they still in their ego. Justice is here. Maybe they want to tell you that. Maybe they want to give you the flowers and say to you, not literal flowers, maybe literal flowers, but they want to tell you, I didn't see you, and I see you now. And if they're not saying it to you in the 3D, the here, the physical, they are, I said in the dream state, they are visiting you there. They're telepathically trying to connect to you. They certainly do try with music. If you hear songs, it's like they're trying to connect to you musically. I know Mayan does that all the time, always connecting to me through music. So they are trying to tell you without telling you. They were trying to save face without having to like humbly lower themselves by begging you or crawling back to you. That they're sorry and that they see you now. I feel like they want you to come to them, but you're the Empress. You attract. You do not chase. Never get that twisted. I feel like if they thought that, they don't think it now. 34 on the clock. Your justice is that despite what you thought, this person didn't give a damn about you. They didn't see your worth. They see it now, and they acknowledge it. Even if it's in the 5D, if it's the ethers, it's there. They did care about you. In fact, they loved you. They just didn't know how to express it, and they didn't know how to reciprocate it back. And you deserve that. So never wait on a person. Move forward with your life. And if they can, they'll find you. Don't, please, never worry about that. They will find you. They know where you are because they're watching you. But never wait on a person. Because we're not here. We're not here a long time on this earth, when you think about it. And happiness should not have to be a futuristic thing. Happiness can begin today. It's an internal job. It starts within and then radiates everywhere. You have a mission. The mission continues with this person or without. That's your message today. Thank you so much for joining me on Empress Aries 888. Please like and subscribe and join my tribe because I'd love to have you as part of my soul tribe. Thank you so much for those who have. Till next time, be safe out there, my friends. Be blessed.